All right, JHK here for the AllStar, and join me right now is Bantamweight prospect John Douma. John, thank you so much, man, for the time. You just got done with practice. What'd you work on today?
Sparring night, Wednesday sparring night here at Triforce. So, pretty tired.
Well, you don't look like there's nothing wrong with you, so you seem like you had a pretty good rounds.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say it was a good session.
All right. Now, first thing I want to get into is your last fight, Bellator 256, in April. You got the split decision win over Will Smith. Man, you had a long layoff. Did you feel any kind of like rust or anything like that?
um, yeah, yeah, I definitely did. It was a whole weird experience. Coming back fighting no crowd, first time doing that. You have the whole quarantine week for Bellator, which is kind of weird. It's just I don't know. I was kind of thrown off by a lot of things, but yeah, it was it. Definitely had a little bit of a ring rust, I think, though.
People say that when you're fighting with no crowd, it's like sparring, but really it's not because when you're sparring, other people are sparring and there's noises and people are looking in
Yeah,
different places. Your experience is everybody's looking at you and it's
yeah,
completely just
yeah.
nobody saying anything.
It so it feels like that. Like it feels like sparring at first until you get hit, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're really fighting here. Like you can feel it, and then like yeah. So then everything, like when you're fighting too, everything kind of like the background noise and all that kind of goes away. So you're just pretty focused. So when we were actually going at it, it was all kind of the same thing.
Now, with that performance, how do you build off of it, when you go back into training?
Off that performance, there's a lot of ways to build off of it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things obviously from that I I know I could work on. So it was good to have a blueprint to lay out and then get after it and work on all those kinds of things. And I've had a good amount of time. I've been training this entire time since my last fight. So I think we worked on a lot of things that we could see wrong with the last one.
A lot of people thought you would have been fighting for Bellator again. Was there anything in the works?
Yeah. So they had some stuff like they asked me. They offered me like 2 or 3 fights, but they didn't end up going through. The opponent chose another guy. Then one was like very short notice. I'm not signed to Bellator, so I can go around. Definitely hope to fight for them again, but this was just a little easier to plan on. I knew I wanted to get at least one more before the end of the year, so I jumped on this card, and I can guarantee myself a fight, and then we'll see. I know they're coming back to Mohegan on December, so we'll see what happens after this.
Ahead of the last fight, you had a lot of time to work on things and improve and what was the development like even though maybe your training was limited or maybe it wasn't, I don't know.
Coming into the last
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
nah, it wasn't. At first, when COVID was really a big thing, it was limited. We had to follow the guidelines and stay 6 feet apart and all that. So it was tough to train MMA. But pretty soon after we got back to working, and it was just kind of like old times. So training for that one was pretty good. Just a lot of other things involved made it probably not my best performance.
After the last fight, did you just jump right back into training and just
Yeah,
like that stay ready mentality?
yeah. But that's what I always do. I have fun training. I like training. It's like the best part of my day. So and then I gotta like I'm working on getting my black belt now. So I'm just always I really live in the gym. So there's no time off really.
How far do you think you're away from getting that black belt?
So I got 2 stripes now. Um, so 2 more stripes. Who knows? It could be. I don't know. It's hard to say. Uh, yeah. Probably within a year, hopefully.
Are you doing competitions outside of MMA, grappling competitions?
Yeah. So I did before my last fight. I did a combat jujitsu match, which was pretty cool. And then I just did a grappling match a couple weeks ago with top level pro grappling. So that was submission only. So that was another cool one. And yeah, just been doing whatever, staying active and getting ready to go.
In combat jiu-jitsu, how much does
Yeah,
it alter anything that you're doing when someone could just slap the shit out of you?
it's yeah, it's weird. It's I kind of had to go like back to like an MMA mindset in that one, and then that kind of messed me up because then you think only about the slaps. Really, what won me that match was jujitsu, and so once you can get past that, which luckily I've been punched in the face a million times, so it's kind of easy to get past slaps. You can get back into jujitsu, and that'll get you the win.
For sure. Now, November 11th, CES 65. You're taking on Tristan Lindi. What do you know about him? What can you tell us? And how do you feel about the matchup?
Don't know too much. I got we got some film we've been studying. He's just got certain tendencies and stuff. He seems like a very game opponent. Um, he seems pretty good, but I match up well. I think I match up well with any bantamweight, though. That's a tough question to ask me. Anybody I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna say I think I beat him or I'm gonna do well. So
What's the
yeah,
team? What's the team around you for this camp?
Triforce MMA. They're that's my home. I'm here all the time. And then I work with my boxing coach, Coach Vic Fagnan. He's one of the best around. He's a New England legend. And then Saturdays I go to Lausanne MMA and get work with those guys in Massachusetts. So I got a pretty solid team.
Yeah, I heard some of the legendary stories of Saturdays at Lausanne's.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun. It's it's a lot of fun over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been happening for years and years, so it's not
Yeah,
something
yeah,
new.
yeah. Since I started, I've been going over there. Back in 2015, I've been sparring over there. So it's always fun there.
For sure, for sure. And in this fight, it's happening in Rhode Island, and
Yeah,
man, it must be nice to be just very close to the Northeast, or just close to home, so to say.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. My last couple of fights, even especially the last fight, was such a I understand why they had to do it, but it was such a headache doing that whole quarantine thing. You couldn't leave your hotel room, and then when you could leave, you couldn't. You were being watched for the whole week. So that takes a toll on you. Um, so this time it'll be kind of nice to just be fighting around where I train, where I live. So and then I'll get a crowd. I'll get a hometown crowd, which it'll be nice. I'm looking forward to it.
What do you expect, to show in this fight coming up? What aspect of your skill set do you is there a part that you want to show the fans?
Um, yeah, I don't want to show like I don't want to say like I want to show my jujitsu or I just want to show that I'm one of the best fighters around here, and I want to seem like I'm the most well rounded, and I left a lot of questions my last fight, and I want to feel like I want to answer them this time around, and just come out and have a really good showing.
You're 25 years old, so young,
Yep.
and 2022 is coming. What are
Yeah.
your expectations of where you will be next year?
2022. I mean, obviously, I hope to be in the UFC and a black belt, and but this is a marathon, not a sprint. So if it doesn't happen in 2022, I'll be 26. I still got time. Um, obviously work, as hard as I can for all that. But when the time is right, the time is right. So I'm just gonna keep plugging away here.
Are you more in the moment when you're focused on your career, or because a lot of people can get stuck in just like thinking of just the
Yeah,
UFC and just thinking too far ahead where they don't even think about the next fight.
yeah. I definitely, once the contract is, out of camp, I'll think about being in the UFC and stuff. Once the contract's signed, I think, 100% about the fight that I'm doing, and you know, yeah, just not trying to get too ahead of myself, and just taking it one by one. It's been doing pretty well for me recently, my whole career. So
Does your buddies ask you all the time, like, man, when you gonna be in the UFC? Like, I need to
Yeah,
have my friend in the
yeah,
UFC.
I get it all the time, man.
Busting
But
your balls.
yeah, of course, man. But you got to tell them like, you got to. It's one thing to get there, but it's another thing to stay there. So I'm sure I could get there now, but how am I gonna do too well there now? I don't know. But when I do get there, I want to make sure that I'm gonna be there for a while. So I'm not trying to rush it. I'm just trying to take my time, and when the time's right, the time's right.
For sure, man. Hey, you get a win, CS 65. You don't know where you're gonna be by the end of the year. Short
Yeah,
notices come up so much, so often.
yeah,
Man, John,
especially now.
good luck to you, man, on this fight, and then good luck to you just stepping in somewhere, man. I always like to see guys get opportunities, so hopefully you get one.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.